Hey, you guys. Hey, everybody. So, we're going to be talking about Mom-Kail Lowry and her ex, one of her baby daddies, Chris Lopez, because they are beefing again. And it's been a minute. You guys can hear me? Okay. It's been a minute, you guys. It's been a minute. It's been a minute since Mom-Kail Lowry has had any beef really with any of her exes. So, I was kind of shocked to see, but I mean, not like super shocked because it is Chris, and every once in a while he does this. Every once in a while, Chris Lopez he jumps on a live and he complains about Kale. However, Kale's been doing really good. Kale's been really doing really good at, about not speaking about her exes on her podcast. Like I haven't heard her mention them in a while. She's been trying to make sure, she doesn't do that. But he went live and he said that Kale is refusing to let her talk to the boys and that the kids were sick and he was not allowed to speak to them. So Kale responded and she was pretty fired up. And basically, the reason it seems that she was fired up is because, yes, the kids were sick. So, like, she didn't call him or whatever. But she said it was pretty hypocritical of him to say anything because he kept the kids, like, over his time not too long ago into her time without, like, telling her anything, wouldn't communicate with her, and kept them for, like, a week extra or something along those lines. So we're gonna listen to it. He goes off first, then she responds, and then she apologizes for responding. Then she's like, "You know what? This is not what I wanted to do. I don't wanna be beefing with my exes, so I do apologize to the public for, what I did or whatever." But we're gonna listen to it, you guys. And I will say one thing that Chris says. Chris is like, she's always talking about me on her podcast, but she hasn't in a minute. Like, I really do feel like Kale is making an honest effort to not talk about her exes, even though, like, anything that happens concerning her and the kids and Chris, like, it's also her life. So if her and Chris are fighting over something, it's her right to speak about it, just like it's his right to speak about it. However, I feel like for the kids, the best thing you can do is not talk about each other publicly. The best thing that she ever could have did for the kids was never like say anything bad about their dad on her podcast. But it seems like she's trying at this point, and maybe Chris, I don't know, because he's like talking about how she talks about him on the podcast, but she really hasn't in a minute. So let's go ahead, let's listen. Oh, first we're gonna listen to Chris because he's the one that started it.
How's Lux?
Somebody asked how's Lux. Shout out to Ray Clark because Ray Clark was got one of these. She got Kale's, and then Teen Mom Shade Room got Chris's. So shout out to those two pages for capturing this.
I know, yeah. Can tell you. Let it be. When it comes to situation, you know what I mean? People can get on a podcast and talk shit and make it seem like it's this and that, but they're not telling the whole stories. You know what I mean? That's why it's just pointless. You know what I mean? Just like I said, I'm at the current moment, these motherfuckers won't even let me talk to my kids. Apparently my kids were just sick, won't let me talk to them. So it's just, what's the point? Of course, somebody can get on the internet and
hold on. I actually just thought about this. Do you guys remember the time that Chris had the kids and one of them was sick? I don't remember which one it was. One of the kids were sick, and Kale messaged him and was like, "Hey, I think it was Creed." She was like, "Hey, how is Creed?" And he's like, "Do you need something?" She's like, "I'm just checking on Creed. He's sick. Is he feeling better today? Does he have a fever?" And he's like, "I got him. There's no need to message me." And she's like, "I'm just checking on my kid. That's all. Like, he's sick. I'm his mom. I just want to know if he's feeling better today." And Chris, like, would not tell her how the kid was doing when he had the kid. When she I remember covering that and being like, "Dude, that's too much. That's too much. If you have the kid and they're sick, allow the mom to text and check on the kid as long as that's all they're doing." That's us moms. If our kids are sick, like, of course we want to check on them. Of course we want to like know how they're doing every day. Do they wake up with a fever again? How are they feeling this morning? But Chris would not answer her and told her like, "Don't message me." And she's like, "What?" So I don't agree with like withholding kids when they're sick. Kale's going to talk more about that, but this is his side of the story: is that the kid was sick. Um, him not training the kids, wouldn't that be kidnapping? Or you mean giving the kids back when he was supposed to? I guess it could be.
And make it seem like it is, and make it seem like it's that and this and that. It's not. It's only half the shit. You know what I mean? If you got to get on here and try to paint a picture and tell the truth, or as long as you know the truth, that's what I'm saying. It is what it consequence. You make decisions in life, and there's consequences to your decisions. And this, what I'm currently dealing with, is a consequence to me straying off from whatever path that God had me. And I'm not, I say, I went to college to have kids and shit like that. But I wasn't supposed to go to college to have kids. That was just my stupid ass horny. I was just horny. And I always say that. And that's one of the things I'm going to teach my kids. There's a unspoken responsibility to being handsome or being good looking. There's an unspoken responsibility. Just because you are handsome or you get girls doesn't mean you need to sleep with all of them. Let me tell you, all coochie is not good coochie. You know how they say all money is not good money? You know what I mean? All coochie is not good coochie. It's not. Some of it is soulless. Some of it sucks your soul. Some of it is moralless and things like that. Some of them will stray you away. It talks about it in the Bible. What's the word I'm looking for? It's literally in Proverbs. Hold on. I'm going to get it for you. But sleeping with another man's wife will cost you your life.
Right? I don't think he's good looking. That's just my opinion, though. I mean, I know Kale always thought he was very handsome. I thought Javi was probably the cutest guy she dated was Javi. Well, she married him. Answer, it sounds like one of the kids are there. Obviously not the kids they share together, but maybe his son.
The flame into his lap and not have his clothes catch on fire. Can he walk on hot coals and not blister his feet? So it is with the man who sleeps with another man's wife. He embraces her, will not go unpunished. I've been punished, bro.
He said, I've been punished, bro. And he quoted the Bible out of Proverbs. Let me find it. I found it while ago to see exactly what it said. He's kind of hard to understand at times. Obviously, you don't even need a Bible to tell you that, maybe sleeping with a woman that's not your wife, that's still married to somebody else, is probably not the smartest thing to do, or, not biblical for sure. All right, let's see. ChatGPT be going crazy sometimes. Let me find it. I found it earlier. Proverbs 5:20. Why be captivated by another man's wife? Why embrace the bosom of a wayward woman? Straightforward. Don't involve yourself with someone else's spouse. There was another one too. But a man who commits adultery has no sense. Whoever does so destroys himself. So is he who sleeps with another man's wife. No one who touches her will go unpunished. So yeah, Chris slept with Kale while she was still married, which Kale says, her and Javi weren't technically together. They were split up, but they were still legally married at the time. So, but yeah, he says he feels like he's being punished for that now. But that honestly, somebody that is a Christian, I do feel like your sins affect you, your kids, because now he has kids. Him and Kale both have kids with somebody they don't know that well, they don't get along with. It affects them, it's going to affect their kids. The trauma that they're inflicting upon their kids, their grandkids will have to endure trauma from their parents. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's generational. Anyways, let's listen to Kale's response.
Not talked about him publicly in so long, and I'm tired of.
So she says she has not talked about him publicly in so long. Let me back it up a little bit.
I've been punished, bro.
I have not talked about him publicly in so long, and I'm tired of the narrative that I'm obsessed with this man, because truly there's nothing to be obsessed with. Okay, there's literally nothing to be obsessed with, and the narrative that I am the problem. Yeah, no shit, I'm the common denominator, but I think every situation is very different. So let's start there. Okay. I'm not saying that I have no hand in all the issues with my baby dads, but a lot of them were growing pains between the rest of them. For some reason, Chris and I have not been in the same vicinity in a real way, like in a romantic way or on and off way in over 5 years. Like, why are we still doing this? Why are we still going on the internet and bashing? You're 31 years old. I don't want to be here talking about my baby dad. Like, I have so much going on. I don't understand why we're running to the internet. Like, you could have saved all of it for court, and I'm going to present everything I have in court the same way I always do. And if you don't like what I have, like, I didn't run to the internet and tell everybody that you took the kids from me for the entire Thanksgiving break, which was not your time at all. That wasn't the first thing I did when I didn't have them. You wouldn't even tell me where they were. You literally, like, me and the police came looking for them and nobody knew where they were. You wouldn't even tell me where they were. You wouldn't let me talk to them, and they weren't sick. It was my time. It's not like you took your own time and I was trying to talk to them. Like, you literally took my entire week and then shaved our son's head. Oh, like, but then spinning the narrative for sympathy. It's insane. I'm tired. I'm so tired. I would have loved the break this weekend. I would have loved to send them with you, but they were sick. They didn't feel like going.
Okay, I'm gonna jump in really quickly because of course we're getting, her story, his story, whatever. He left that part out, that over the Thanksgiving break, he kept the kids for an extra week, did not tell her where they were. She went looking for them and he would not answer, apparently. Nobody would tell her where he was with the kids. And he shaved one of the boys' head. I've said from day one, I feel like something like a trim haircut. Okay, whatever. If you're taking the kids to get a trim, whatever. But if you're taking them to get something kind of drastic done, I do feel like if the parent is involved, if the other parent is involved, then yeah, why not be like, hey, I'm thinking of taking Lux Creed to get their hair cut. This is what they want. This is what I'm thinking. Whatever. I mean, because hasn't he said stuff before about her doing the kids' hair without talking to him, and now he's doing it? So I really feel like, I will say, I felt like obviously after her and him split up for a while, it was so much pettiness going on between the two. But I feel like I've seen Kail try to come up from that just by not talking about him on the podcast, like, him taking the kids, keeping them for an extra week, her not publicly stating anything. But then I guess anytime she does anything that he has an issue with, he still takes to the internet. And it's not going to benefit anybody except maybe us creators that talk about it. But it does seem like maybe she's trying to do a little bit better while he is still just trying to be petty and create drama. She has 7 kids and 4 baby daddies. I think, is that right? She has Joe, Javi, Chris, Elijah, and then she has Elliot, Lincoln, Rio, First Valley. Yeah, 7 kids and 4 baby daddies. Yeah, she said basically what she was saying is that she didn't keep the kids to be like spiteful. She would have loved to let the kids go to their dads because she was tired. She would have loved to have the break, so it wasn't that she was doing it to be spiteful. It was that they were sick and they wanted to stay home. I think that's what she was saying. Like, they didn't want to go anywhere. They wanted to stay home. They were sick. They didn't feel like getting up, going anywhere. So yes, I kept the kids, but I would have loved, they would have went to their dads because I would have had a little bit of a break, been dealing with, sick kids and all the kids. So I think that's what she was saying.
They barely even wanted to wake up. But instead of asking, hey, Kail, what do the kids need?
That's what she said. She said they didn't even want to get out of bed. So that's why.
They barely even wanted to wake up. But instead of asking, hey, Kail, what do the kids need? I'm so sorry they're sick. Is there a time that I could make up? Can I make up this time? You run to the internet. Instead of like, Javi had no problem emailing me and saying, hey, if Lincoln wants to come this weekend, let's make it happen. I know I didn't get to see him last weekend because he was sick. That's all it would take. That's literally all it would take, on top of the fact that you took my entire week. So truly, I shouldn't even offer you makeup time.
That's exactly. If you took an extra week.
It's both of them. They aren't putting the kids first. Actually, that is completely false. You have not heard me come on this app and talk shit about my kid's father in a long fucking time, probably over a year, if not 2 years. and I don't talk about him on my podcast anymore. So, and it's been years since we have. So no, it has nothing to do with, I'm putting the kids first at the point that my kids have flu A. And that morning that they woke up, so they had it, the symptoms of it. And then they started symptoms Wednesday night. By Friday morning, I was like, I got to call the doctor. So I call the doctor, they get tested on Friday. They were going to go to their dad's all the way up until Friday. And then Friday rolled around and their symptoms got progressively worse. And so at that point I was like, okay, we have to go to the doctor and they're not going to their dad's. Otherwise I would have told him much further in advance. But it just didn't play out that way. But again, it's not malicious. I'm not keeping them from him because I was being malicious. It was for their own well-being, their best interests. It's exhausting, like to sit here and say I'm obsessed with a man that I truly don't think about on a regular fucking basis unless I get online and everyone's telling me that he's live talking shit. It's like, come on, bro. I thought we stopped doing this. I thought we were all in our 30s and stopped doing this, truly. So.
Juju, what she said basically was they were going to go to their dad's up until Friday. They got worse and they didn't want to go. The kids basically couldn't get out of bed. They were so sick. And technically, it was his time, but because he kept them an additional week. So Thanksgiving, he was supposed to return them. He kept them an additional week. Did not tell her. She could not find them. She went looking for them. He would not answer the phone. Shaved one of the kids' heads. So when she got them back and they got sick and they did not want to go, she was like, okay, whatever. It's technically now my time anyways, since he took an extra week. Technically, it's now going to be my time. And a lot of kids, too, do want their moms. I know my kids, oh, my gosh. Maybe my daughter would want her dad. But, like, all of my boys, definitely, when they're sick, they are big mama's babies. You know what I'm saying? Which they go to Chris's. They've always, like, went to Chris's. It's just the last time that he had the kids and one of them was sick, he would not communicate with Kale. Those messages, he put those messages out thinking that it was going to make him look good, but it didn't because one of the kids was sick. She messaged and was like, hey, how's, I think it was Creed. How's Creed? Does he still have a fever? Did he sleep good last night? And he was like, why are you messaging me? And she's like, to check on Creed. He's sick. I just want to know if he's feeling better today. Is he worse? Is he better? And he was like, I got it. Don't worry about it. I'm a father. I can handle this. And she's like, I'm not saying you can't handle it. I just want an update on how our kid is doing. And he would not give her an update. He would not say he woke up better. He's fine. He doesn't have a fever today. Or he did not sleep. He would not give her no update, told her, do not message him that he had it. And I'm like, dude, that would drive me insane. If one of my kids was sick and all I'm messaging you is, hey, how is he feeling? And you're telling me don't message you? If you know what, if my kid next time they were sick said, Mama, I don't want to go because I'm tired, I don't feel like getting out of bed, I don't want to go to dad's, I'll go next week. I'm like, okay, babe, fine.
Honestly, I don't know if y'all remember this, but a few years ago, I'm pretty sure Chris said it on the internet, but I know he said it directly to me, was that he knew what he was doing when he had kids with me because he knew that his kids would be good. That's what he said to me.
That's
so I'm pretty sure he also said it on the internet, but I know for a fact he said it to me. And that's crazy because that's not the narrative you spin on the internet. Like, I just want peace for every fucking one. I'm too old for this. I don't want to be on here talk. I'm tired. Like he does shit like this and now it's, oh, they both do it. Oh, they both talk shit. No, we literally don't. He does. This is the first time. Show me the last time I talked shit about him. Show me. All the trolls that are going to record this and put it all over their T pages. Show me the last time. Show me.
And Chris does do it. I will say, people's going to be like, oh, you're a Kale sympathizer. No, I'm going to speak the facts as I know them. As I know the facts is every so often Chris does do this. He jumps on a live, he talks about Kale, or he posts something about Kale, about his baby mama, while Kale, I haven't heard her say anything about Chris in a minute, So, and like, yeah, she created this. They both created the issue that they have at this point. They have 2 kids. The only thing they can do from here is grow up, act like adults, and try to co-parent and stop bringing it to the internet so it doesn't affect their kids. You know what I'm saying? And the only person I see doing that at the time is Kale. This is the mess they're in. They have kids together. It is what it is. And at this point, Kale does seem to at least be trying to not take it to the internet up until now, of course. But at this point, he's done said her name on the internet and done like he's probably done 10 lives and posted about her. I don't even know how many times. And she's like not said anything, you know. Is there anyone here who doesn't talk to the co-parent that can weigh in on if there's no communication? Do they get sick updates? I'm curious how that works. Um, I don't know. And I think the reason, and I don't know, I could be wrong here. The reason I think is because of things that he did to her while she was pregnant. Which she went ahead and got pregnant twice, but like the DV, he wasn't like he didn't even want anything to do with the kids. When the first one was born, he didn't even see the kid for a while, and then he started coming around. So I think that's why. If I'm pregnant, the whole time I'm pregnant, you want nothing to do with me. You show up for when I have the kid, and then you don't come back around until the kid's 2 months old, and then all of a sudden you want to see the kid. I'm gonna be like, first off, the whole time I was pregnant, you were barely around. You showed up when I had the kid to sign the birth certificate, I guess, and then you were not around for 2 months, and now all of a sudden you want to see a child that I've been raising by myself for 2 months. You know what I'm saying? I would probably have a little bit of an issue as well, and it would make me feel some type of way probably.
Screen record it. Go on my podcast, listen to my podcast, and tell me which episode it was, because I don't talk about him. It's exhausting. It's seriously exhausting. I don't know. I'm at my content house, and I don't. The lights are just different than my house, and I'm not doing my hair today. I should have wore a hat. I have 2 recordings for Carmine Chaos today, and this was not the note that I thought I was going to start on. Okay. Why does he always say you do XYZ, but it's him? I don't know. That's it, and it's crazy because I genuinely, and this is going to sound nuts, right? Chris has a distorted perception of reality, right? Like we could see the exact same car crash, the exact same one. Chris's recollection of events will be completely different than mine. They will be so unhinged that you're like, how did you even get to that conclusion? Like genuinely, it's concerning because you're like, okay, if A plus B equals C, he'll say A plus B equals ABC. And you're like, wait, how did you get there? You know what I mean? I can't even describe it to you. Like there's very few people I know like that, I can't even describe it to y'all. Like it's the weirdest thing. And I'm telling y'all, not mention him on the podcast. I don't talk about him on the podcast anymore. It's been literally years since I've talked about him on the podcast in a really negative, I've obviously mentioned co-parenting situations in passing, but never anything problematic, never anything causing issues in the past several years. Like my team and I go out of our way. If I say something because something happened and I'm emotionally charged, the team and I edit it out in editing because it's not worth it. And it hasn't been worth it. It never has been worth it. So I literally don't talk about him on the podcast. It's the same there. I'm not allowed to grow. I'm not allowed to change. I'm not allowed to be more positive, nothing like that, because he'll say, like he literally brought up sleeping with a married woman. I had filed for divorce. Why are you why are you bringing that up? That was like 8 years ago. Like, I don't get it. I don't get it. Kristen, I saw the address. Make sure this isn't saved publicly. I don't know what that means.
I know somebody like that is so difficult to deal with him.
Like if we're going to be bringing up the past, if if we're going to bring up the past, then let's all bring up the past. Let's not forget when you tried to sign off your rights. Let's not forget when you strangled me while holding him. Let's not forget when you strangled me up against the side of the house while I was pregnant. Let's not forget when you pulled me in the house by my hair when I tried to escape. Let's not forget when you held me hostage in my own house. Let's not forget when you pushed me down the stairs and held me hostage in the basement. Let's not forget when you broke all my mirrored furniture. Let's not, like, if you're going to bring up all old shit, I'll do the same. But like, why? What is the point? What is the fucking purpose? Go to work, get a second job. If you're that bored, get a second job, because you only have paid $95 in child support and you owe $288. Okay. And you'll have $25,000 in arrears. Like, if you want to talk about being productive, let's do that. Let's go to court. Let's talk about how productive you are. Let's talk about all the good things you do for the kids. Let's not look at, because I don't go to court and point the finger at you. I go to court with receipts about what I do, right? Like, all of the activities I take the kids to, getting them to school, their doctor appointments, the dentist, all of these. I talk about all the good things and the positive things I do as the mom, right? When we go to court, you just sit there and point the finger at me instead of saying, look at all the things I'm doing for my children. And I'll tell you what, I will never make the mistake of not speaking up when one of my kids goes live, because I let that shit slide in June when Javi did it. That was a big mistake, because people really took what he had to say and believed everything. I'm not doing that again. As much as I'm like, okay, it's not worth it to talk about the dads. It's not worth it to address. It's not, you guys really believe every single thing they say. Can you bring the kids by to see the lights on 4th Ave and Dover? Yeah. Also, there was a really bad accident on Hartley Road this morning. I called 911 about it. And I hope everybody is okay. So if anyone is in the general area of Delaware and was a part of that accident, I hope everything's okay. He wants to see you like this, Kale. Oh, I know. I know he does. And it's really sad that I have sometimes step back, and unfortunately today is one of those days, but I'm just so sick of the narrative, because you're talking about me preventing you from seeing the kids or me preventing you from talking to them, but you have not tried to reach out to talk to them since the first day. And they literally had the flu. I can't get over the fact that you took an entire week from me and prevented me from talking to them. But you're going on here and whatever. It's always hard to be, but what I want to know is, what is the purpose of being the bigger person, right? Like, obviously don't want my kids to see this, and they might. I don't want my kids to see any of it, but like, what is the purpose? Me being the bigger person and not speaking up gets me nowhere. In fact, Javi's live and not addressing any of that really put me in a fucked up place, because there were so many things that in there that were not true. And I didn't speak up because I was like, it's not worth it. I don't want to do this. I don't want my son to see it, right? It fucked me up. And I don't want the same thing to happen. So it's like, being the bigger person does what exactly? Like, what is that going to do for me? Like, being the bigger person has gotten me literally nowhere. I don't be the bigger person in this situation. These are your kiddos, so I get saying something. You are being the bigger person by saying your truth. I just don't like how much. I get that I'm the common denominator between the dads. I understand, like, I'm the most self-aware person that you guys could even look on social media at. Like, I genuinely know that I am the common denominator. I'm aware. But at what point do you take, like, at what point do you understand that there are always 2 and 3 sides to the story? Like Chris saying this, yeah, I kept the kids from him because they had the fucking flu. They were positive for flu A. I sent proof. I took them to the doctor. Chris didn't offer to take them to the doctor. Hey, bring them to my house. I'll take them to the doctor. He didn't do that. He didn't say, hey, do you need anything? Do they need anything? It's just, Chris wants everybody to think that he's a great dad. That's all this is. Okay. I've been staying silent, doing what I do on the side, and he's failing to talk about all of the things that he has done wrong. It's always Kale does wrong, Kale does wrong, Kale does wrong. It's exhausting. It's exhausting, truly.
It was Javi. That was on the show where she hit
Follow your
Javi.
intuition, Kale. Never apologize for it. You're an amazing mother. Thank you, Tyler. I always appreciate you. You and Kate have always, had really great things to say, positive perspectives, and sometimes send things to me that give me clarity. I just wish that there was more co-parenting going on. That's not what's happening. It's really sad. He shouldn't have any rights to them with that kind of violent behavior. And I don't want to talk about him. I haven't talked about him in so long. And now I'm out of character. I'm back to old Kail right now. And I don't want it to be that way. So I know this is going to go everywhere. It's unfortunate, but it is what it is. You just saw me crash out on Instagram Live. I'm actually really embarrassed. I hate that it has come to that again. Not something I've done in a really, really, really long time. So I'm embarrassed. I'm sorry. But I guess healing's not linear. So it is what it is. I don't plan on doing that again. I don't plan on addressing any of it on a podcast. I have not talked about my baby dads in that way on the podcast in years. So I don't plan on talking about it again.
So there it is, you guys. So that's him, Chris starting the feud by saying, Kail was withholding the kids from him, that he did not get the kids, when he was supposed to. And she said in there, didn't she say, like, I sent him proof the kids had type A flu? I sent him proof. I took them to the doctor. I sent him proof. So it seems like she tried to communicate with him, like, hey, kids are sick. They're going to stay home. They have the flu. I couldn't imagine. I don't know. I mean, like, okay, yeah, go ahead and ship them to my house where I have their little brother and let's give us the flu, If they wanted to stay, I think that's the problem is like, if the other parent said they have the flu, they're tired, they don't feel like going, they're just tired, they're exhausted from being sick. I'd be like, oh my gosh, keep them there. Like I'll FaceTime with them. They don't even have to hold the phone. Can you hold the phone? So yeah, he has another kid. You can hold the phone and I could just let them know that I love them. If they need anything, let me know. I'll drop off some tea or something. I don't know, thank you legally. But someone made a comment and I was like, dude, that makes a lot of sense. He has filed to take her to court a couple of times for more time. And every time he gets less time. January of 2025, he took her to court and the judge reduced his time rather than giving him more time. And Kail put a protective order against him. That was January of 2025. I did ask ChatGPT for a breakdown of their relationship. Hopefully it's correct. I do know there's been ROs, protective orders put in place, and he's tried to take her to court several times to get more time. And he's never gotten it. A judge has never said, you deserve more time. As a matter of fact, like I said, in January, the judge said, we're reducing your time due to the proof that Kail brought that she was the one doing everything. And maybe, I don't know if maybe the judge knew about, times that Kail reached out to Chris to check on the kids and he refused to even communicate with her to give her an update on how the kids were doing, specifically when they were sick and stuff like that. Like, to me, that is childish. Like, I get it. Kail can be all that she is, and she's done a lot of crazy stuff, and a lot of people don't like her for that. But it does seem like she's trying to do better in regards of not talking about Chris on her podcast, the times that she's emotionally charged and she does it. They edit it out so she doesn't do it. Even this time, she got emotionally charged, jumped on a live, talked about it, but then came back and was like, I'm sorry. I'm not trying to do this. This is not what I want to do. But meanwhile, like Chris is still jumping on lives. And then even when he has the kids, doing things, being problematic where he's not putting the kids first. Like, if the kids know what their schedule is, that they're going to be with dad for a week and then go back to mom's, but then all of a sudden they're not going back to mom's. They can't talk to mom when they're with dad. And they're with dad an extra week and they don't know what's happening. And I don't know, did he tell them, oh, I'm going to keep you guys an extra week? Mom doesn't know it's fine. Mom does know it's fine. You know what I'm saying? Like, does that really benefit the kids? Especially if the kids are like, pretty sure we're supposed to go back to mom's. I mean, they may be too young to get to know the schedule at this point. I don't know. Um, I grew up in two households. It was very common for me to stay with my mom on my dad's time if I was sick, and it was rare, but it happens. See, my thing is like if she tried to communicate that, and she said they were going to go up until Friday, where they got worse and they tested positive for the flu. At that point, she said, like I sent proof that they had the flu. I took them to the doctor. So it does seem like she tried to communicate with him. Hey, that's good, Miss Bug. I'm glad that you're able to hold a pen. Okay, I'm gonna try to give a rundown of this. Let's see. This breakdown. Early relationship 2016, 2017. They began dating quietly around 2016 while she was still on Team Mom 2. The relationship was on and off from the very beginning. She became pregnant with their first son the following year. 2017, Lux is born. August 2017, Kale gives birth to their son, Lux Russell Lowry. Chris was in and out during the pregnancy and early infancy. Kale said he was not consistent and did not show up at the birth. He showed up for the second one's birth, I think, because that was filmed. Chris later denied that and claimed MTV edited footage unfairly. So was he there or was he not? 2018, 2020. Constant fighting and co parenting issues. This was the period when their public feud became a storyline itself. Key issues: accusations of cheating, lying, manipulation from both sides. Kale claimed Chris was unreliable, absent, and sometimes aggressive. Chris claimed Kale was controlling and didn't allow him access to Lux. They repeatedly posted subtweets, blogs, and podcast digs at each other. 2019, the first restraining order was filed. Kale filed a PFA, protection from abuse, order against Chris. This reportedly came after allegations of verbal aggression and harassment. Kale said he was showing up uninvited and unstable. The PFA was temporary. It later expired. 2020, July 2020, Kale gives birth to their second son, Creed. Around this time, their relationship is mostly hits its most toxic phase. Sorry. October 2020. Kale was arrested in Delaware after she allegedly punched Chris during a custody exchange. She said Chris had cut Lux's hair without permission and it escalated. The case was later dropped due to lack of evidence. After this incident, co parenting became almost non existent. Kale denied the claims that she hit him. I was reading that on an e news article. 2021, Chris files his own protection order against Kale. Chris filed a PFA against Kale, accusing her of harassment, controlling behavior, aggressive confrontations. This caused their communication to be strictly limited to third parties for a time. Meanwhile, Chris started appearing on podcasts, taking shots at Kale. Kale responded on Coffee Combos, making claims about his parenting. They were essentially in a public PR war. 2021, MTV adds Chris to Teen Mom 2. Chris signs a contract with MTV for a small appearance. Kale is furious, claiming she was never told. Chris says Kale doesn't own the show and that he should be able to tell his side. This created a huge new wave of public fighting. 2022, the feud goes full-scale public. Their fighting moved completely online. IG stories, podcast, Twitter, text messages leaked. Kale accused Chris of DV. Chris accused Kale of alienation, lying about him to get sympathy, blocking him from the kids for convenience. 2023 to 2024, communication was mostly through lawyers, family assistants, custody exchange supervisors. Kale began talking about how toxic their relationship was and implied abuse. Chris continued to deny every claim and said Kale wouldn't let him parent. Both sides admit their relationship was extremely damaging. 2023, 2024, Kale has baby 5 and 6, not Chris's. During this period, Chris publicly criticized Kale's pregnancy secrecy. Kale claimed Chris wasn't involved enough with Lux and Creed. Chris continued to post vague messages about being blocked. Their feud had calmed publicly by late 2024, but co-parenting remained strained. I just thought of something else, but Kale did say on a podcast or something, she did talk about Chris strangling her. Yes, he did not want to be on camera at first, and I think come to find out it's because he had another long-term girlfriend. The child that he has now, the baby that he has, the youngest one, is from the girl that he's like been off and on with for many years, and I think it was because he had her and he had Kale, and he couldn't be on the show as Kale's boyfriend if he was still talking to somebody else. You know what I'm saying? So, um, yeah, Kale ended up literally saying she thought he was going to kill her at one point. But yeah, I don't know. I feel like at this point, if my thing is like, if you literally just kept the kids for a week extra, did not tell her, did not communicate with her, don't be mad when they're sick. If she tells you they're sick, here's proof they have the flu, they're not going this weekend. Don't jump on a live mad because she didn't jump on a live telling people that you kept them for an extra week and didn't tell nobody. You know what I'm saying? If you're doing stuff being shady, which if you're going to keep the kids for an extra week and not say anything, to me that's shady. They have to show up with the cops looking for the kids because they don't even know where they're at. You're not speaking to them. To me, that's not okay. But if she didn't go off publicly telling people that you did that, then when she does something like keep the kids at home because they're sick, then you probably shouldn't go live talking about it because she's not doing that to you, you know? So yeah, that's just my 2 cents on it. That's just my opinion, you guys. But I can't say as someone that covers these two, I can't say, I can't remember lately Kale talking about Chris. This has been the first time that she's mentioned him in a minute. However, I've seen Chris mention Kale a good bit. Like he's like always tweeting something about her, or not tweeting, but like posting on Instagram, or you know what I'm saying. So yeah, I imagine that's gonna be really hard. You know, to you try to shut it up to where you're no longer talking about it, but that person won't stop and continues talking about you, continues like causing issues, will not co-parent with you, and then continues talking about you about what kind of horrible parent you are and how you're not co-parenting with him. Meanwhile, he don't co-parent with you either. You know what I'm saying? That would be so frustrating. TJ says he needs the clout. He's only relevant because of her. Yeah, I found it really strange that like he went from not wanting to be on the show, don't mention him, don't say his name, he don't want to be on the show, to all of a sudden he's on the show. They're flying Brianna DeJesus in for podcast. He starts a podcast, you know, and I said, you want it to be so private, and now you're like signing a contract with MTV, doing a podcast, starting a podcast with your friend, and flying Brianna DeJesus in. So, and maybe he didn't fly her out, but he asked Brianna to come out to do the podcast, and that was definitely to get a rise out of her for sure. So that's what it is, you guys. I'm Team Kale on this one. I do tend to give Kale a lot of grace considering the fact that she didn't have parents growing up, you know, all that she went through growing up, and she made something of herself. Granted, she obviously did a lot that people are going to judge her on. The multiple baby daddies, all the kids, like she's going to get a lot of flack for that. But I do see somebody that like, oh, despite all the trauma that they have, they're trying to do good. They're trying. They're not perfect. She's in therapy. She has all her businesses, you know, so she tries. And like she said, I know I'm the common denominator. Like I know I'm the person that like has issues with my baby daddies. Like I know that. Um, right. I agree. Yeah. Anyways, you guys, leave me your thoughts in the comment section below. Are you team Kale, team Chris? I'm also team kids. And I really feel like the kids probably just wanted to stay home while they were sick. They probably didn't want to go anywhere. I don't know. I don't know if he does or not. I'm not sure what he does. I mean, I think he has a job because he used to go live and talk about being at work and it looked like he was in like a a piece of equipment or something. I'm not sure. So I think so. But she said get a second job because his child support is $98 a month and he's behind. So behind on $98 a month. Wow. But anyways, guys, leave me your thoughts in the comment section below. We'll be back here in like 45 minutes, probably not even that, maybe like 25 minutes to talk about Seeking Sister Wife, Garrick Merrifield. Join me in a little bit because he's still on. Yeah, that's what she said. She said his child support is $98 a month and that he is like thousands of dollars in arrears, but is like, what did she say? She's like, you're behind 200 something dollars, but then she said, and you're behind thousands of dollars in arrears. So I don't know. I don't know, but $98 a month. But that's what Ryan, like from Ryan Edwards, like Bentley, I think he pays something like that. Or like 120 or something, like not a lot. But anyways, we're going to talk about Garrick from Seeking Sister Wives in the next video. So make sure you join me. Make sure I buy all the clothes and everything. Probably. But I'm telling you what, like, I feel like when you have kids, you meet up with dad and you drop off the kids. I feel like dad should have everything they need at his house. If it's a baby, he should, you know what? If dad's going to be in town for a while, okay, you know what? I'll give you a diaper or two and some baby wipes maybe in a bottle, but I'm not, which my older kids, back when they would go to their dads every once in a while, I had to pack a whole bag for them. We had to pack clothes, we had to pack shoes, we had to pack toothbrush because they had nothing at their dad's. I don't feel like it should be that way. I feel like every parent should have everything they need for their kids. Okay, she said he only paid $98 a month and his child support was $250 or something, and he's $25K in arrears. Thank you. That makes more sense. I'm like, what did she say about? Why did she say three numbers? Okay, he's supposed to pay $250. He only paid $98, and he's $25K in arrears. That makes more sense. Yeah, dad should have all their own stuff at their own. Exactly. That's the way that I feel. Mom should, dad should. It should not be one parent has to pack a bag. But anyways, you guys, also at 8 p.m. Central Time over on TikTok, we are going to go live. We are starting Real Housewives of Beverly Hills. I have, up until 2 days ago, I'd never seen it. And I want to get into other shows. And this one was suggested to me. So I know we're in season 15. I am starting at season 1. So last night I watched 1 episode. This morning I watched 2 episodes. Tonight at 8 p.m. Central Time, we're going to watch episode 4. So if you guys want to join me to go back, take it back to the very beginning of Real Housewives of Beverly Hills, come join us at 8 p.m. Central Time. But I will be back here before that. So anyways, I'll see you guys in the next one. Yeah, and Ray Clark, who is another creator, is joining us as well. Leave me your thoughts. Are you Team Chris, Team Kale? I know we're all Team Kids. So I'm talking about outside of being Team Kids. Are you Team Kale or Team Chris? Leave me your thoughts. Like this video, come back and hype it up. And this is the time for those that are on a time difference, 9 Eastern, 8 Central, 7 Mountain, and 6 Pacific tonight. I'll see you guys on the next one. Bye, guys.